Nicole O'Neill once said, when you find the courage to use your voice, it has the power to positively inspire and change the lives of others. It is one of the special gifts you have to offer the world. It is something to be cherished and championed, never hidden. And that is why we are here on Your Voice, Your Impact. I am the energetic EJ. I am a life and transformational coach, and I work with women aged 40 and above to turn their abandoned dreams into achievable goals by activating their voice for impact. I'm also a podcaster and an event host. On this show with me is
great, so amazing. The goal of this show is to help people use their voices to create impact. I am a physicist and a life coach. What I do for my clients is I help them build systems to achieve their goals whilst having fun doing it. On this show, we discuss topical issues that can inspire you to move. Like, subscribe, and share. Welcome aboard.
Right. Like, share, subscribe. Welcome on board. We are happy to be here again this week on Your Voice, Your Impact. Oh my gosh. You see, my blood is already like I could feel the energy of this particular episode since the day our speaker confirmed, because I just kept playing it in my head, like how the conversation is going to go, like how the energy is going to combine. My energy, Grace's energy, her energy in one room. Hey God, are you ready? Like, if you are ready for some powerful conversation today, I want you to type in the comment section. I see some people on LinkedIn, I see some people on Instagram. I'm super excited that my Instagram is back, so at least we can stream to Instagram and we can collaborate on Instagram now. Hopefully the collaboration part works. But welcome. I hope you're well. This is another week and the final week in August. Can you imagine the 8th month already gone? Isn't God wonderful? I hope you're grateful. Let me bring on Grace quickly. We'll just do our quick introduction and then we'll bring on the fireful one and only Madam Kiki of the world, because this is not past Kiki of Africa. I'm super excited. Hello, Gracie. How
Yes,
far?
See, you see this one there? Today's episode, even if I would have to hang to be on the show, I'm ready to hang. All the evil spirits trying very hard for me not to join. They have failed. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm particularly ready for today. Today, the topic we have is something that I am ready to learn and apply. So, hi everyone. Don't mind me. I just jumped in with violence. This guy. Oh dear.
Oh my goodness.
Nice. Good to
Absolutely.
be here. I'm glad to have to know that your Instagram is back. I kind of missed it. See how this it affected me too. Like, what's so good
Absolutely.
to be back.
So good. Okay, without further ado, are you ready? Because we are ready. Ready or not, here we come. Like, we don't see today. I don't tell you already how I'm feeling. So you're going to feel the energy, whether you like it or not. You must feel some energy in this room because the combination that is happening here today. Oh, yeah. All right. So today we're talking about wealth. We're talking about wealth and generational wealth, but most importantly, strategies for building generational wealth. And our guest today is somebody that has story really, sparked something in me. So when we started talking about, like, when we chose this theme for the month of August, like, we're going to look into wealth from different angles, her name was one of the names that popped up in my head. Like, you know what, we need to speak to this woman because she's somebody who has intermingled with wealth, and then life happened, gave her bass and bows, but she's like, no, now, do you know who I am? Like, do you understand who I am? And she came back strong, and she's an epitome of an enterprising woman currently building wealth. and, expanding her horizon and her network. And I'm just so fascinated by her story that I felt like, see, me, I want to hear the gist directly. You see, she's such a beautiful storyteller, by the way. And that's written, no. So I want to imagine when you know and sit down and hear her speak the story by yourself. So let me not talk too much. I have the pleasure today of bringing up this virtual stage on Your Voice, Your Impact, one and only. It says, she's there's some nickname that she call. All of them just sap on my head right now. But one of the things that I know about her is the way she carries herself. She knows who she is in God, and she carries it without apology. And that is so beautiful to behold. So welcome on this beautiful stage, Kiki Okewale. Hey, hey, hey.
Okay, this hype, I'm not sure if the hype is for me or
Hey.
you're talking and I'm like, okay, is that really me?
If not be you, who you want to be? Yeah, you bling. Give us the bling.
I'm so excited. What an honor. What an honor to be here. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you for the kind words. I really don't take it for granted. Thank you so much. When you reached out to me, I mean, like I said, any day, anytime, for you, your tribe, your people, I will always make myself available because that's how much you mean to me and the What Tribe community. Thank you so much for always being available, for lending your voice, for always making sure everything goes exactly how it should with the right energy. That's one thing that made us click, the energy. E for energy, we don't play. So thank you. And it's nice meeting you, Grace. So amazing. I can already feel your amazing energy. Thank you so much.
Grace, so amazing. It's the person we call the ginger mama.
Yes,
network, you cannot do any year. You cannot do any year. Absolutely. Thank you for coming on board. We really appreciate you here. And I've just been, envisaging, I've been, thinking about this conversation. And I know that a lot is going to drop in form of gems to anyone that is going to listen to this particular episode. And I had a couple of people reach out when I first of all put up the poster, like, hey, please let me know when this is going live. I want to be there. I'm like, come, what are you waiting for? Better come and join us, right? So and be a part of the conversation. Before we go into the topic today, let us just get to know. I know, see, if you follow the Voice Your Impact, if you've seen the post that this particular video is on, you see a little bit about Madam Kiki there, but I don't want us to just do the formal what's it called, a formal profile. See, the woman is here. Let her tell us by herself. Just tell us a little bit about you, something that you want us to remember you for, that anybody that joined this particular episode would just say, that woman. Tell us from that aspect about you.
Okay, well, thank you so much once again. I think one of the things I would just want everyone to remember is that we have the power to take our lives in our own hands. Life will always happen. And so in the course of our conversation, I will talk about how life happened, like I like to say it, from silver spoon to no spoon at all, and now building my life on my own terms and doing the things that I know that I deserve. And I'm just so grateful for the gift of the audacity that I had to say no to what life was giving me and telling life exactly what I want. I'm Kiki Okewale. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a fashion entrepreneur. I'm a co-founder. So I feel like a lot of people have been reaching out a lot more for me to come and speak about multiple streams of income because, that's like what I focus on. When life has humbled you and you have been hungry and you've had days where you didn't know what you were going to eat the next meal, then you understand the importance of having multiple streams of income. And your topic, passing on generational wealth, it aligns so much with me because I'm not coming from the angle of the pass me generational anything. Nothing. So therefore, we must make sure our children don't say the same thing. We have to make sure we pass these things down to them. And I'm just so grateful. So I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a co-founder of Women Radio. I'm a founder of What Tribe Community, a community where we are so excited because EJ has given us so much value and she's a part of the community. And I'm just that woman that wants to remind you that you have everything inside of you to become the best version of yourself. You're not the labels they've called you, you know. It's time for us to trash those labels and take control of your life. So I love the fact you're not doing the normal bio thing. It's getting cliche. So thank you.
Fantastic. I love it. I love it. And so I'm happy that we align in that. And when your name popped up, I'm like, yes, that's the woman for the job, because we can see it. We can see you live it out. And it would be nice for us to get behind the scenes to say, how is it working for you? And it's just beautiful, because I know that we wanted to extend this topic to another month, but from some of the conversation me and Grace had, it feels like you are somebody that can speak to those different parts, as a mom.
Okay.
For example, you're a mom of two beautiful children, you're a wife, you are an entrepreneur, you are a boss, you still have a full-time job. Talk about multiple streams of income, right? So you can really speak to this topic richly. When you hear wealth, how would you find wealth?
Okay, so a lot of people think that wealth is all about money. I personally feel like wealth is a lot more than the cash you have in your bank. Wealth is what you invest in your children, and I'm talking about passing it on now. Wealth is the knowledge that you have up here. My husband will say to me all the time that if you lose everything you have, you will build it back again because of what is in here. That is wealth. I might not be able to say that, okay, I have this much money right now, but the bottom line is, what are the things I do not have? Wealth is not about the things that you do have. It's about the things that you do not have, and making sure that you have access to those things. Wealth is your network. Wealth is your investment. Wealth is the impact that you have in the lives of people. And that's just what I see as wealth. I don't see it as money in terms of cash. I see it as the impact. I see it as the resources. I see it as the investment. I see it as the knowledge that you have. That for me is what I see when I talk about wealth.
Such a well-rounded definition of wealth, and it speaks to what most of our speakers that have come this month has also talked about. Is beyond the material. There's a spiritual angle to it, there is the mental angle to it, there's the mindset that you have to carry when you talk about wealth. It's not just about the money part. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So I just want to know, when I need you to, kind of lay that foundation again for us from your story. So that, I'm not kind of speaking over people's head about you. Like, I know part of the backstory, right?
Okay.
When you just mentioned just now that from silver spoon, be from golden spoon to no spoon at all, to say, no, I'm going to create my own spoon right now.
Absolutely.
Give us just a short a version and a brief version of that story to kind of give us a foundation from where we're having this conversation on, about your story of wealth.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I do like to share this particular story because it has inspired a lot of people. And I really didn't know that my story was that impactful until, you have the opportunity and you're sharing your story and people are crying and you're wondering, okay, the world needs to hear this story. Our story does matter. And so at a very young age, I was born into a family that was wealthy. But when I talk about wealthy, then I saw wealth as money. I was a young child and I had access to everything I wanted. I always like to say that I was a spoiled brat, and I was the only girl. I had 5 brothers. I was the last born. And just imagine the kind of pampering and spoiling and everything, right, left, center. I was so spoiled that if you want to have access to my dad, all you need is me. All you need is me, and whatever it is, it was that bad. I mean, to them it was good. They were taking care of their daughter or their baby sister and all, but life does happen. So at the age of 11, I lost my dad. And when I lost my dad, I practically lost everything. Now, this is coming from a girl, a child who had never taken anything seriously, who had access to everything she wanted, who was spoiled, who didn't really understand the value of working. However, one thing that my dad always, he would take me to his place of work. And I would sit down, I would see how, it was totally different from my dad at home, from my dad at work. It was professional. Even when I'm there, it's like, okay, this, that. Like, where's my daddy? Once we enter into the car, okay, daddy is back. And so I learned a couple of things. Even then, I didn't know I was taking in those information because, I was angry. Daddy is not giving me time, But when he passed away, I was 11. Unfortunately, even though he was very educated, he didn't leave a will. And I see a lot of very rich people, even now, they don't take will seriously. And I just wish that, we lay a lot of emphasis. We're not wishing you death. We don't want you to die. And we just want to make sure that your loved ones are secured, if life does happen, because nobody knows when. The truth of the matter is newborns die. Young people die, old people die. We're all going to at one point in time. We just want to make sure that, we are taking care of the people we leave behind. So he passed on. He didn't leave a will. Trust me, Yoruba movie things, it does happen in real time, in real life. It did happen. We lost everything. Everything. When I say everything, literally, when I say, I always say that I don't say it was from silver spoon to plastic spoon. No. It was from golden, handcrafted, premium spoon to using hand to eat. That was the kind of life I moved to. Imagine that kind of movement. It was bad. It was terrible. And so I couldn't accept it. I just couldn't accept it. I just couldn't understand. And at some point, my mom and I had a big clash. I was 11. And I would tell my mom, how come because my dad is no longer here, we cannot have access to these things? What have you been doing? Like I said, I was a spoiled child. And to me, it wasn't me being rude. It was me being, Mom, come on. It shouldn't be that bad. I understand if some things, we can't have those things, but come on. How come? What are you doing? Those kind of things. And I hurt my mom real bad. And it took a lot of working on it for us to build that relationship back. Because, I couldn't understand. But it was also at that point, going back to school, that I wrote my list, and conflicts was what triggered me. Conflicts. When my mom said conflicts, I was that child that would go with 8, 10, 6 conflicts and still give other people. And then you are telling me that I can no longer have conflict. Like, conflicts to me was just so a conflict. And, when she looked at me and said, if you get Gary, you better be very happy. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. In fact, I cried so much that my brother had to take out of his own school money to buy me conflicts. I just couldn't comprehend that life has happened that much. But after that, I went to school, I came back home, and one day I saw my mom. She had sold all the things she had just to make sure she can even pay for school fees. And one day I saw her on a truck, those tipper that are supplying sand and something. And I cried. Oh, I cried so much at that point, 11, 12. And I saw how my mom was struggling to make sure that we can feed. And that was when I apologized to her, and I said to her that I will, I said to myself, really, not to her, because even at that point, who would understand that a girl that was so spoiled, people were looking at me like, nothing good can come out of you. We have given up, because the way I used to even talk, spoiled child, it was. And so I said to myself, I need to take control of my life. I need to help my mom. I need to stop complaining and do the things that I can do. And if there's one thing you take away from this today, is that two things will make you take decisions in your life: hunger or anger. Unfortunately, I had the two. I was angry with my current situation. I was livid. I was angry with my dad. How could you leave us hanging? I was so angry. And that's why this generational wealth is so important. We've got to plan, because life will happen. My dad was the life of the party. He was the one that would say, serve them round in that party. He was the one that he would spend. When he died, we saw so many people he had trained in school. So many people came crying at the burial ground saying, oh my God, how will they finish school? How would they? He was that philanthropist. But how about your own? How about your own? And so I decided that, I was going to do things. At that point, I didn't know what I was going to do, because I was so young. Well, who would possibly employ me during holiday breaks and all? But it did happen. I came back from school. We had a neighbor who wanted me to watch a child, and that's how it started. And that was how my entrepreneurial journey started at the age of 12. And I've not stopped since then. So hunger and anger. I was hungry for more. I said to myself, this cannot be my life. This cannot be me. I will not have to beg people before we pay for school fees, before I buy the things that I want, even if it's my family. I will not have to beg. I was angry with the situation. And those two things, rather than sit back and complain and grumble and cry, I took my life in my own hands. Because even at that age, I understood that I had the power. I understood that complaining is not going to do anything. If you don't take what just like the Bible says, the kingdom of God suffered violence, right? You take it by force. If you sit down and you are the world will not give you nada. You have to go out there and take it. I always say, fight for your dear life. It is yours. Fight for it. And that's what I did. I fought for my life. And I started working at the age of 12. At the age of 17, I was already a manager, working in a company, having people older than me managing them. Because at that early age, I structured my life. I understood. I didn't take courses. It wasn't like I knew what I was doing, but I was doing it afraid anyway. What's the worst that can happen? I'll fail. It will not be the first and it won't be the last. And that's how I kept going. And did I fail? Oh, girl, so many times. Did I lose? A lot. But guess what? For every failure, I would stand up and I would keep going. I gave myself a mandate. 3 days max, cry, it's okay. Get the heck back up. So after the third day, I'm telling myself, hey, third day is here. Do you still want to cry? Quickly finish this crying and get back up, because the fourth day, I cannot afford to be hungry again. I cannot afford to not know where my next meal is coming. I cannot afford that luxury. So I need to get back up. It was the only option I had. You know when they say when you hit rock bottom, the only place you can go is up. And that was just it for me.
Wow.
So I think that covers it. There's a whole lot more, but we have
to I will leave it to Grace. Grace is you open the valve of questions now. Please, Grace, take it away.
See, I don't even know what to say. I could just sit down, listening to you like this for the whole day. Like it's an amazing story, and I'm so happy that I'm happy when 𝘱𝘬𝘳𝘴 said you were the co-founder, or you are the co-founder of WFM. I told her a story that when I was in Lagos, I remember when this life has a way of coming back. Believe you me, immediately I saw that radio and I said, radio for women. I was just sharing up and down that, look, oh, there's this radio for women. I don't know, but this radio for women, I just kept sharing. And I even said I was going to, look for how to. So what am I saying in essence? I'm saying that this whole life comes back in a full circle. Can you hear me?
We can hear
I
you loud
didn't
and
know
clear.
anything about who was running the radio, and for me, I just saw that this person is someone that is, helping, as far as I'm concerned, allow women to be heard in a way. So thank you so much. And this is your story. What I picked, because I was also I was a daddy. I'm still a daddy's girl, even though it's no more. I consider myself a daddy's girl. And when you were speaking, you said something about how you went to his office and you saw another daddy. You picked up the professional part of your dad, and you have seen it play in your life. I would like for you to share three things that if you think back and you see yourself working, you will know that, this one a daddy and I collect them. This one is from my dad. I want you to help share three powerful things that, even though it was subliminal, but you're able to put your hands to it and say, I can tell you without a doubt in my head that I picked these qualities from my dad, so that our audience can start understanding that, look, some of these qualities, they have how they would come and play in your life later in the future. So share some of the three qualities that you picked from your dad that you currently use in your work. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So the first thing is to even say what my dad used to do. It's not a conventional kind of business. So he was into firearms. He used to sell guns. He used to supply police, army, and military. So he was working with the government, supplying firearms. So we had an armory, and I would go into the armory and see firearms, like long shots. Look at that.
No wonder you're fearless.
Not that I'm not scared of guns. But so that was what he used to do. And so of course he was friends with all the governors, all the top people, all the police commissioners and stuff. And if there's one thing that three things you mentioned. The first one is consistency. And if there's one thing that I know I picked so much from my dad, is this consistency. Like, you can literally tell, if you are in my circle, you can literally know that Kiki will be here at this time. Kiki will do this. In fact, sometimes my team will already say, watch you. She will do this now. And it is just that consistency. Now, number two is I have zero tolerance for people who are slow. And it's just, if I tell you go and bring that thing for me and you are still doing, like, I've gone there and done that thing myself. Because time is money. Time is money. I do not have the luxury. We don't know when we will leave this earth. We cannot afford to be laid back and slow, and when I do it, I do it. What if we don't get to do it? We have to do what we have to do. I say that all I have to do is all I have to do. But I will make sure that I do all that I have to do. As at when due. I don't like procrastinating. I got that from my dad. I'll do it later. No, what you can do now, do now. What you can do now. And that's one thing, my team, go and do this. Have you done it? No, I'll do it. No, do it now. Because the next minute we should be doing something else. So consistency, no procrastination, and being there in your business. I delegate a lot. The reason I'm able to travel 1 month, 2 months is because I have structures in place. But even in the structure, I'm present. Even in the structure, I am present. And I got that from my dad. Because really what they do, like I said, is firearms. It doesn't have to be at work all the time. It doesn't miss. It gets to work before his staff. And is present in the outsourcing, in the importing, in the sharing, is making sure that everyone is doing what they need to be doing as at when due. Even though he has team members, is making sure that they are doing what they need to be doing. And that's one thing. I'm here. I've had meetings with all my different companies this morning. So it feels like I'm not there, but I am in there. In their head, I'm there. In their face, I'm there. And they'll tell you that, listen, if you don't do it, Madam Kiki will go ahead and do it. And that's not good for you. So I am present. I give them room to become the best version of themselves. I make sure that I give them roles so that they can grow. I've had staff with me that started my business with me 9 years, and they're still with me. And they are not the same person that they were. Now, I give people room to grow. I impact, I train, I invest in them. I saw my father invest so much in the lives of his staff, in the lives of the people manning his company. And I think that's my biggest thank you. Those things I learned. I don't see staff as outsider. They are my people. And so their home is important to me. Their children's well-being is important to me. Their growth is important to me. And, during the increase in price, everything, apart from the fact that we had to increase salaries, we started asking ourselves, how can we shrink the working hours so that you can leave home a bit later and get back home a bit early? So we used to do 9 to 7. Now we do 10 to 6. So at least the rush in the morning where they now increase transport fare, because very early they increase the transport fare. At least you don't have to pay high prices and you can leave early as well. And we still increase price, not because we make so much. But guess what? If your staff are not happy, they will bring that same energy to your company. And I learned that from my dad. He would make sure their children are okay in school. He would make sure that their family, their relationship is healthy. Because trust me, if husband and wife are fighting, last, he's coming to your organization. So that's one thing I really picked, and I love how it makes me feel. How my staff knows that if something is happening, I can approach my boss. It's one of the things that I'm really grateful for. So I think I've shared more than 3 already. Let me leave it here.
Wow, amazing. Gracie, okay, I think Gracie's network is,
yeah.
Yes. So I'm sure she has follow-up question. I am very sure. But thank you so much for sharing that. And it's such a beautiful thing because that ties in so well to what we're talking about, generational wealth. It is beyond leaving something for the children, because at the end of the day, we have people we've seen or we've read of people that they left inheritance for. Can you still hear me? Right?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. That children that they left inheritance for, but because they did not pass on that mindset and
Absolutely.
this kind of qualities that you just spoke of now, the same inheritance that was passed on to them, they just squander it.
Absolutely.
How would you say you have again, from your story, it wasn't like your dad sat you down to tell you these things. somehow he in just being his authentic self and loving you and carrying you along, you were able to pick all of these things, and he was able to, almost like osmosis, transfer it to you. You know, how would you say you are replicating that for your own kids, or how would you say that others can do that more intentionally? Because for you, I believe that if your dad had probably lived longer, he probably would have the opportunity to share and say, Kiki, this is what I want you to know, this is what I want you to know, but he didn't. But now, what are you doing differently to say, I must pass on a legacy to my kids? Not because I think I will die tomorrow, but still, they still have to prepare because it's going to happen one day.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. And I know you know a couple of things that I do, but for the benefit of everyone here meeting me for the very first time, like, I like to say that a parent's greatest legacy is not the money that you leave behind. It is not the money, but the lessons that we teach our children on not just how to earn, but how to manage it. Because, you know, like you said, we've heard about a lot of rich people that leave a lot of money, wealth, and stuff for their children. And 5 years down the line, you are wondering, where did it all go? So we have to learn and be very intentional about the knowledge and the wealth and how to manage it that we're passing on to our children. Our children need to, from a very young age, see how mommy is doing it. These things that Grace asked, you know, what were the things that I saw my dad do that I see myself doing? I see my daughter doing a lot of things, and people will just say carbon copy. Like, they will just say carbon copy. Now my son is 8, and we will start hearing things like, Mommy, I want to do my own thing. Mommy, I want to do my own. Mommy, I'm selling this. Mommy, I'm selling that. Now, it's because I am now being very intentional. My dad passed it to me, not intentionally. It was just, like you said, it was just like I was there. It was coming into my subconscious without me necessarily even knowing. And when time came for me to, you know, I always say that everything that we are right now, we're a product of everything that has come into our mind. Right now, people tell me, Kiki, you work so hard. In fact, a friend of mine said, Kiki, you work as if you are the one paying your children's school fees. You are the one, you work so hard. And I'm like, listen, I'm a product of everything life has thrown at me. You cannot expect me. I've been working from the age of 11, and now you think because my husband is okay, I should now sit down and cross my leg. It's not me. I can't. It makes me sick.
Yeah, it's not in your DNA anymore.
It's not in my DNA. I worked until the day I did put to bed.
Wow.
And I was not sick. It is not in my, if I stay and I don't work, I'm sick. That's when my husband starts saying, are you sick? Because you that we know, if you are not working, is a problem. But in a good way, because I love what I do. So it doesn't really even look like work. Because I love every part of it.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Because I was almost going to say, okay. But it will be my next question. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, so trust me, I do rest. Trust me, I do take care of myself. I have my me times every week. I mean, I have a routine that works so well for me. And, you know, people ask me all the time when I go out and speak that, how do you manage all of these many arts? I have a structure that works so well. I have support systems. I'm not going to say I do it all by myself. And I say to people, just to divert a little bit, don't try to be everything at the same time. So in as much as I say I work, I love to work, I have rest time, I have support systems, I have structures, I have things in place, I have me time that my kids know, do not go into that room. In fact, if I have a visitor, they say, Mommy is having a me time. They know. Whether the me time is to sleep, listen to music, just play, just open the shower. I'm a water lover. just open the shower, put my leg in the bath, put my leg in the pool, even in front of beach, any which way. Let me shall be seeing water. Water and music is my happy place. So I do rest, because I know you're going to ask that. We want to tell people to be resting. Rest. So find what works for you and rest. But like I said, I'm into a business that is not work. I'm into a business that I love. I can, in my sleep, I design. I love it. So, passing on generational wealth, back to the matter. My daughter started a business at the age of 7.
Oh, wow.
And it wasn't something I forced on her. It was something I was deliberate about, intentional, taking her to my place of work, making sure she sees how things are done, registering a business name for her, asking her, what do you love to do? She's part of the kidpreneur. She had her own fair. She spoke. She wrote her own book at the age of 7. She's writing her second book as we speak right now. She's starting her radio program. September 14th.
Wow.
Smart Mind with Kiki. And she's 11.
She's Kiki too.
Yes, her name is Kiki Okewale. My name is Kiki Okewale.
Wow. Kiki Okewale, Kiki Okewale.
Yes.
Wow.
So my husband,
energetic.
he loved the name
I'm
so much.
smiling my face away. If you see my face out of this place, just know that
Please, let's put
it's
your
our
face back
guest.
together. So it's passing this knowledge. I'm making sure that now, because I know she's reading books. She's not just reading the books, she's now reading it out to people and doing reading clubs and stuff, so that, because you know the way knowledge stays is when you read, you understand, and then you share.
You teach.
So I'm making sure that she's having that. So our first GS1, I made sure she went to boarding house just for her to be able to see what life is without mommy and daddy. GS2, she's coming back home because she's starting her own different programs. And we saw how she was able to manage. Even in school, she's always part of one program or another, because I've built that confidence. I've built that thing that even now they are begging, please let her come back to boarding. We will make sure our radio program, we will put it up, we'll do. But there's a lot of other things I want to make sure. It's not just about education. She came to a rhinestone class. She's starting her own rhinestone children's design kind of thing. She draws, she sketches, and she would, people can send their drawings, she will stone it out. It is being intentional. She has her own account. As we are here, for every time she washes plates, she collects her money. I'm telling you, and she'll tell you, Mommy, this is a business. I'm like, Kiki, no, this is you taking care of the home. She said, Mommy, I know, but I'm 11. This is a business. She has made almost over 30 pounds as we are here. And as we are going out now, she said, Mommy, I want to buy some things. Not the one you buy for me. I want to buy it for myself. She now understands. So I'm grooming her and her brother to know that, listen, no man can come and use any money. These are the things we need to pass to our children. The confidence, the self-esteem, the business acumen, the mindset to know that, listen, your life is in your control. You have the power. Whatever you want, you can work and you can get it for yourself. So the other day we went out, she wanted to buy these Korean socks for her friend that likes Korean small cartoon things. And I said, listen, Kiki, I'm not buying the socks for your friend. And she dipped her hand in her pocket and she bought it. And she said, Mommy, she's my close friend. I want to buy it for her. And I'm like, but you have your money. And the way she has been taking care of that socks, because she used her money to buy it.
Yeah.
It's not that deep. You want to buy for your friend? I cannot buy for you and buy for your friend. So buy for your friend. And she did. And the other thing she wanted to buy, she said, this is not a priority. This is a priority because now I'm using my money. We have to be intentional. I'm not those, I have suffered, my children must not suffer. They must suffer their own suffer. It is not a crime. It is not wrong, because you see, this generation, we are spoiling these children. Oh, Yoruba version. The suffer I suffer. My children must not suffer. Yes, we all pray for that. But listen, what makes them think? When you are not there, what are the values you've instilled in them to know who they are? Who are they? Regardless of when you are there or not. If my daughter goes to somebody's house to do a sleepover, I can sleep well, knowing that she has her values. My daughter will wake up and wash her brother's clothes. She will wake up and even, is this trip that because we started talking about working and making money and all of that, she would do these things. She would, I know if they call me, my daughter did this, I can tell them that's not my daughter. Ask for the name of that child. What is that thing we are passing on to our children? What are they reading? What information are they taking in? What, as we as parents, what are we doing? So my son told me here, when we're here, that, mommy, I just want to be like you and daddy. I just want to be like you and daddy. Even though we're on vacation, we're enjoying. Daddy is doing his virtual consultation. Mommy, you have done your fair and you are making money and we are still enjoying. You know, what are the things can the children see? Because we can't just keep saying, do this, do that, and we're doing something else. Because my daughter will tell you, but mommy, you're not doing what you're saying. This generation are different too.
They'll call you out.
Hey, mommy, but you can't tell me to, but you're not doing it. If you say it's the right thing to do, why are you not doing it?
Right.
I have to now explain that I'm already dry fish that cannot be bent. So I will just say, yeah, let's do it. You are right. I apologize. I should actually show you. I should do what I asked you to do. And then I was okay, let's go ahead and do it. We cannot tell them to do this and we're doing something else. It's not going to work. Right. So I'm being very intentional. I am, just to summarize your question, we have to be intentional with passing the values, the mindset, and to our children. And that's exactly what I've been doing. You can check my daughter's page on Instagram, Smart Mind with Kiki, so that you can see all the many things that she does. And she's very big on NGO. She's big on SDG4, quality education. That's one of our strong,
Wow, so beautiful. Gracie, please. I know you're burning with question. Go ahead.
I'm burning. I'm burning particularly because I often say I say this, maybe I'm biased as a woman, but I don't trash the part where I say that it is it takes a man and a woman to collectively train a child. But I'm very biased because, you know, women are usually the first. They're always, a man came to our office the other day and he was saying that, you know, I would give you my wife's number so that you can talk to her, because she knows, she in this area she knows better than I do. So I would allow you to, I will give her your number so that she'll talk to you. And while I was listening to Kiki speak, I could just tell that it is easier to pass on wonderful traits, you know, to your child, even though the father,
I can no longer hear Grace. You are muted.
The network. Yeah, I can't hear her too. Her network is really messing her up, and that's because she's not at base. Well, I think where she's
she's back. You're back. Welcome.
Okay, so I have to switch. All right, so I'm saying this particularly because my question is now to you as a woman. I work with women that often say that it's not easy, you know, do this.
We can't hear her anymore. I don't know if you can hear her, but I can't.
Yeah, it's the network. So sad. And I know she was really ready
I
for
hope
this
this
session.
network doesn't disappoint me.
Okay, I think
I'm
she's
back
back.
because this question is very crucial.
Okay, your network is breaking. Gracie, can you hear us? Hello, Grace. Oh,
Oh,
okay. So let's hope that her audio or her video will be back in a short while from now.
okay.
And they should be able to ask that very crucial question she's talking
Okay,
about.
she's back.
Okay, you're back. Okay.
Okay, can you hear me now? I think
Yes, we can hear you now.
I had to put one of I put two of my
Oh,
Wow, it's
wow.
still this is no hungry. Oh, now it's out.
Oh,
Okay. Anyway, she'll be back hopefully before we round off. Is that
okay.
you shared so much, and I really appreciate the depth with which you shared. The things that you spoke to, both subtly and vividly. And it's so beautiful to see the work that you are doing.
Okay, I think she's back.
Yes, but okay. Is she back? Can you hear us? Are you here?
I can hear you clearly. I want to
Okay.
quickly ask this question before
Please,
this,
yeah, quick.
this thing. I
Just
think
go
it's
for
where
it.
I am. Yeah.
Don't worry,
All
go
right.
for the
So
question.
women particularly say that they find it very hard shuttling between or looking for certain qualities in their children, and they want to send their kids to areas where they can get some of these values from. Now, as a mom, what's that advice you want to give? Because like some of the things you have just said, like building confidence, self-esteem, and every other thing, it's something you can learn from outside. But what would you say is the first to a mom that is looking to see some of those qualities in their children? There's a working class mom out there that is saying that she needs her child to be this, she needs her child to be that, but she doesn't know how should go about it. What's the advice that you can give to that mom that is somehow confused, that really loves all these things that you just mentioned and would like to see it in their own kids?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. I think personally, in as much as there are so many things that we can get from outside, there's a lot of work that we as parents need to do. We need to, like I said, we need to be very, very intentional about who do I want my child to become? And how can I help this child? Because, they are formation age. And you can always, there's nothing like a child does not have this. We need to bring it out. There's a lot. Children are like, their brain there is like a sponge. They keep taking it in. And so from the very tender age is when we can start, sowing the seed. I call it sowing of seed. We sow when you plant something. If you plant orange seed, it will bring out orange. You cannot go and plant orange and want to pluck banana. It is not some children eventually when they grow up, like it happened with mine. I groomed myself. But we don't also want, but I know what I had to go through. We want to make sure that we are now doing it so intentionally. By the time they grow, it becomes easy. There are some things I myself am still struggling with, because don't forget, we're a product of all the things they've told us. They've told you can't be this, you can't. And that's why it's so important. I always talk about, let's trash the label. They've labeled us so many things. They labeled me sports. They labeled me that. I had to always remind myself that no, I'm not those things. So we have to be very intentional. Now, that's one. Number two is there are now people who take up this responsibility to help train children. Like I told you, my daughter is part of the kidpreneur. I saw that she had interest in business. Even though I'm a business person, it wasn't also something that I could train her on totally. Why? Because I don't have that much patience. I saw that my even for training them for their lesson, this thing. If I ask one question, Kiki, you don't know this answer. You don't know this answer. My sister, my husband told me, my wife, you have strength in so many things. You see this one, let's use it for people that have strength. And that person is my mother. I'm telling you. My mom should have, in fact, if not for age now, she should have had a school for children, a crèche or a, oh my God, her patience, her tolerance, the way she can teach. Imagine, my mom is 70 this year. The way she's still teaching them maths, English, all of these things. I said, Mommy, how do you know these things? How?
Wow.
So we all have our strengths. When my daughter, I saw business was, she had interest, and I know she can do it well, and I know I have the capacity to help her in that area. I enrolled her for a course. It's Kidpreneur. This is a school. The lady does it online and stuff, but she trains children. And now she's even the one that put together the fair. So you will be the one to write your business plan yourself. You're the child. She will groom you. You write your business plan. What do you want to do? You pick a name. You do your logo. She trains you on all those things. And now they're having fairs they have gone to US, they've gone to Ghana, they've gone to Kenya. It's just that my daughter, if I can't travel with them at this age, don't blame me. I only have to. If I can't travel with them, I cannot let them go. That's just it. But they've gone to different places. So if that was also me being intentional, that, she took the course, and it's not a course that will cut throat, but I can see the results and the opportunities and doors it has opened for my daughter. The connection, when they had the fair, they had guests. My daughter won a prize for speaking on the stage and, talking about what she does. So it's being very intentional. You want your daughter to be a public speaker, enroll her for programs. You want her, my daughter follows this 𝘱𝘠𝘳𝘴𝘵 lady, this young, vibrant, and we even did a live together. Talk of being intentional parenting. That's exactly what the parents are doing.
Right.
So I know that we are busy, but don't forget that these children are the future that we are working for.
Right.
So no matter how busy we are, we have to be passing on this generational wealth of knowledge, of impact, of self-esteem, of confidence. So that when we are no longer here, they will continue to pass on that also to their own children, because it now becomes a legacy. It becomes a generational wealth being passed, generational knowledge. There are some family, for example, my husband is a medical doctor. I have 2 stepkids. One of them is a doctor. My daughter wants to be a doctor. In foreign countries of rich people, when they say a family, you know what a family is for. This family is known for fishing.
Yeah.
This family, we have to, gone are the days of my children can be anything they want. If you don't groom them, and I understand that, yes, everybody will not be the same, but you have to make sure that you are first letting them see it. They can see it and say, I don't want to become it. But we need to first guide them in that area. My daughter now, she goes to my husband's hospital. And she sees, my husband has 5 hospitals now. And she said, Daddy, I want to do these things that you do, but I'm still going to have my side business. So she already knows what multiple streams is. So now everything she's doing, she will come. Daddy, how do I check somebody's heartbeat? How do I check somebody's pulse? How do I do that? She's been very intentional. My husband is also very intentional about making sure that he's guiding her, the things that you need to do to make sure you are in science class, the thing you need to do this for you to be able to be a doctor. You cannot go and be in that class and say you want to be a doctor. It cannot work. So it's being very intentional from when they are young, grooming them to become that person that they have the capacity to become. We cannot just sit down
leave
and
it.
just leave it to chance. You see people, family of, they make burger in this family, and you see their generation, they are making burger.
They have a recipe.
They have a recipe. Look at SARS that sells lace. That's the third generation of families selling lace in Nigeria, in Lagos there. And all their children are in that business. And they have how many branches? And the one that is manager is manager. The one that is managing this arm is and we have to be so intentional. We have to pass it on, because all this work we're doing, at the long run, you build a brand and then leave it for who? And you know, it's been so intentional. I have a big one in Ilorin. It's they do wires and stuff. They are so big, cam wire. They are big. And our children now, they've come home to manage, because this is big. This is big. And you know, the daughter wanted to go into fashion, and she's like, yeah, she can have it as a side business. But all of these things they've done is for who? It's for who, really? So we have to be intentional. They can live their dreams.
Honestly, that's really how you build
it's
generational
so
wealth, really.
And that's generational wealth, really. Because if you don't
honestly, that's it. Then it's not. Honestly, then it goes with you.
Then
yes, it lives with you.
Your daughter starts her own bakery, and then her child too says, no, I'm not going to bakery. I want to go into bakery. That one starts. I mean, how is that generational?
I'm sorry, that's what's happening to Nigeria.
And you know, I say this, that the reason Nigeria is what it is right now is we don't have a goal.
No continuity.
We don't have a dream.
No continuity.
There's no continuity.
No collective vision.
The American dream. If a president comes in today, they continue. But this one, this road that they have started, no, I don't want that road.
Another person will
leave that road and go and start this other road. There's no dream. There's no goal. There's no plan.
Honestly,
as a family, you have to have a plan, a goal, a dream. What is the goal of the family of Okewale? What are the Okewales known for? You know, it doesn't mean we will not do other things. As my husband is a doctor, I'm a part of the company, I'm the chief marketing officer. Because it says, listen, it's good you have your business, but guess what? You are the one that will take over this. You understand? So we have to make sure that we are being intentional. Everything about the brand, about the hospital, I'm a part of it. We can't leave things to chance. We can't. That's not generational.
Absolutely.
And this conversation is strictly for people that want to have generational. Not everybody dreams of it.
Right.
Some people, what I want to do is what I want to do. Do what you want
to do.
And
that's it.
You do what you want to do. But if you have interest in passing it on,
then you have to
because I don't want my children to ask me the same question. Mommy, what were you doing when your mates were working? We have to be intentional. And that's just it. I mean, there's
I really love the answer you've given, and it's really, really very profound. But I can't help the nudging that is coming from the other angle. You know, with everything you said, this is from a parent who knows. What happens to the parent who is not even aware? How, like,
we'll keep doing programs like yours, like this. I mean, honestly, you know what they say, that not knowing is not an excuse. It's not an excuse, because at the long run, let's be realistic, you have yourself to blame. There's knowledge opportunity all over.
Everywhere.
There's knowledge everywhere. And I say to people, personal development is the best gift you can give yourself. When people ask me, where is your designer bag? Where is your this? I am the design. I am the designer. I myself. I am the investment. I don't invest in designer bag, and I myself, I invest in impacting self-development.
Yes.
So
yes. I did not shout to that. The network yanked me off. You are indeed the design. Come on now. Honestly, this is where people
honestly. Wow. No, you embody it, and I'm so happy. You know that I'm so happy that your calendar did not even align with the initial date.
With the initial date, right?
26. help us. Let us round it up. What a fantastic way to round off the month of August. And you know why? August is the 8th month, and it's always said that 8 is the number of new beginnings.
Absolutely.
And the month is ending now. And I'm hoping that somebody is watching this and getting angry. If you don't take anything away from this conversation, two things she said were the driving force at the beginning: hunger and anger.
Absolutely.
And this is not the kind of destructive anger. It's the anger that will push you to take action to change your situation.
Absolutely.
The anger that would make you say, even if it's a generational curse, I am going to stop it. It's not going to go on to the next generation, whatever it takes.
Absolutely.
If it means like I would have to do the sacrifice so that my children would not. And I love how, the question Grace asked and how you answered it about, fine, you might not be able, like I'm talking about a parent that does not even know themselves. How do they want to pass on anything? This is the word that, okay, just be aware. Awareness alone is deliverance. Because with awareness alone, oh God, I hope it's drill.
It's a drill, like, yes, go ahead. Please.
Okay, it's a drill. Okay. Like, when you are aware that, okay, I actually love what they are saying, but I don't have it. But you are aware, you can now begin to search where can I find it?
Absolutely.
So that I can direct or guide my children towards it.
Absolutely.
And that's so beautiful.
Absolutely.
Grace, I know the network really stomped on some of the things that you would like to say, but I would love for you to, do your thing as we wrap up this session.
You're muted.
You're muted. Oh my
gone.
God, this network. Oof. Okay. So usually would kind of wrap up our sessions to ask our guest, because the title, the name of our show is Your Voice, Your Impact, right? I would love for our guests to speak to using their voices for impact. What do you have to say about that?
So impact is, I'm very big on impact, as you know, and that's why I founded the World Tribe, Women Are Achievers Tribe, just to see how we can impact the world. We have our conference, by the way. Well, you have to come to Nigeria, EJ.
Mommy. I want to come. Let me go. I want to come to Nigeria. I've not seen Grace. Let me even go and hug her.
Can you imagine?
When is the conference? Is it in Lagos or in Abuja?
Lagos,
we need to bring you to Abuja. Honestly. What? Come on now, honestly, because as far as I'm concerned, I absolutely love powerful women, and you are just what a powerful woman is, and we need to hear more of you. I'm rushing to follow you everywhere, and I'm going to tell all my friends, come and see. I'm very happy that I was able to connect with you, and honestly, I'm not so happy that this environment where I am today did not allow me ask the real questions inside my stomach. Yeah, but I'm very sure that we would need to have you again, because I don't think 1 hour is enough with the knowledge you have and all the things you have to share. I honestly don't think 1 hour is enough. So let me quickly ask you, what do you think about using your voice for impact? What do you think? Let people listening to you right now, I would love for them to hear what it means for one to use their voice for impact.
All right, thank you. I was just about answering that. EJ asked while you were out. So for me, like I said, my life is all about impact. I always say that I am on a mission to die empty. And that is basically just making sure that everyone first who has contact with me does not live the same way in whatever form or shape. We want to make sure that we've impacted them one way or another. But you see this impact thing, a lot of times we get it wrong. We want to do big impact. If you impact one person's life and that one person goes ahead to impact that one other person, it becomes a chain of impact. So who can you impact in your environment? When you're posting on your social media, what is it that you're posting that can impact the life of others? That neighbor that you have, how are you impacting their life? That smile, as small as a smile, can impact the lives of others. How are you making sure that that person that is about to give up, because of you, they are not giving up? How are you making sure? One day somebody told me that I was just about to commit suicide. I will not forget. I brought her live on Instagram after she reached out to me. She said, I was just at the brink. I'd had it up until here. And you just posted randomly. And what you posted triggered me. And she reached out to me on DM and said, you know, this. And you know, it was so funny that that particular post, I just said, this is for one person. I don't know who it is. This is for one person. And she reached out to me and said, this is for me because I was about to end it all. And then we got talking. And she had had it up until here. And, you know, I connected her to somebody who could help her. And now she's doing phenomenal things. So how are you impacting the world around you? Yes, we put a group together. We do this, we do conference, we do that. Yes, that's a big skill. But don't wait until you have it all figured out. Don't wait. Maybe somebody needs to just hear how you started your business, how you persevered, how you were resilient, how you didn't give up. And that's why they won't give up on their business. Maybe somebody somewhere has no clue on what to do with their children. And you just share the view. And they're like, you know, I can actually try that. Impact is not about the big things. It's about those little things and the lives that you touch. And so that's why every opportunity that I get to lend my voice, I will always oblige to it, because it is my way of also giving impact to people and making sure that, you know, I do what I can do, because that's all we can do, really. I can't do everything. I'm not Jesus, but the things that I can do, I want to make sure that I do them. I want to make sure that when I go back to my maker, whether it's today or 10 years time or 50 years time, I can say that everything you put inside of me, I let it out. I have come back to you empty.
Empty.
And that's just it for me.
So good. So beautiful. Honestly, like Grace said earlier, we can just sit there. I've been listening to you like this. It's too sweet. It's too sweet. It's too sweet.
EJ.
Goodness. I had fun on this episode.
I don't think I've said this before, but Madam Kiki, I love you.
Oh.
I love you too.
This network, no great
This
Grace.
network
I
don't let
defend
me
me.
enjoy all my love. Oh.
This network no nice, but no Allah. We'll have to connect. She's like she said, she's gonna follow you all over the place.
Please.
And just connect with you and honestly see what we can do. She's an amazing coach, and she does help people build systems and habits around the things that they want to do, but to have fun around it. So she's a physicist as well.
Oh.
And she's an amazing coach here. So
and I would
know
love
that
to have her in the community as well to do maybe. I mean, we haven't done your masterclass. I know you've done your own, but we haven't done like what tribe and you.
Yes.
And that's the kind of things we want to start really doing. So please, I'd love to have you, and I'd love to have a different session. Let people get to know the things that you're doing and the impact that you are also having.
Absolutely.
And so that, it's very important.
Absolutely. I am all 100% in anytime, any day. And I know that she is phenomenal, and she's going to do a great job of that masterclass as well. So yeah, absolutely. Gracie, we're connecting. You're connecting with Madam Kiki. You're having a masterclass in her community. Just get ready, you know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us as well? Oh, this
It's
network.
this
Can you
mechanic
hear?
village, oh. I'm in a mechanic village. I'm in a mechanic village, oh. That's why you, my sisters.
Oh,
I'm in a mechanic village.
Bele,
sorry.
bele, no wala, no wala.
So sorry. This has been exciting. It's been amazing, and it's been impactful. I mean, I learned as well as much as I shared. Thank you so much for having me. And anytime you need me on any topic that aligns with my vision, please don't say, "Oh, how do I go to Coach Kiki?" You know, I'm always a WhatsApp away from you, and you have direct access. So please take advantage of it, and as many times
Thank you
as you want
so
me,
much.
I would be available.
Thank you so much. We really, really
Thank you.
appreciate you. We couldn't have ended this series on a better note, on a
Thank
very positive, high, and impactful note. And
Thank
doing
you.
it with a fellow woman is a blessing. It's a blessing. I'm sorry. Sorry, it's a blessing.
It's a
So
blessing. And I'd
thank
just
you.
like to
Thank
say to everyone watching this, you can do it. If it's for your children, it's for yourself. You can do whatever you set your mind to do. Do not let the voices in your head stop you. A lot of times we say, oh, people are stopping us, people are doing the, but I've seen that a lot of times we ourselves stop ourselves. We let those minds in our head, we let those thoughts tell us that we can't be that person that we want to be, or we can't do the things that we want to do. If you know that you have a dream, a goal for yourself or your children, start with baby step. We all don't have it figured out. I always say that we're living this life for the very first time. So we don't have a
you.
manual. And truthfully, what works for me isn't necessarily what will work for you. What you need to do is figure out what will work for you, and put a plan in place. Baby steps. It's good to have big plans, but start baby steps and start being intentional about the things you do. You'll be shocked coming back 1 year after to see how far you've come. You'll be shocked the things that can change in your life, in the lives of your children, and in your journey when you are intentional about it. So don't beat yourself up that you haven't done so much. It's okay to say I haven't done so much, but what you cannot do, they say the best time to start was yesterday. The next best time is today. You've had the opportunity to listen to this live today, brought to you by this amazing energetic EJ and Grace, so amazing. And they're doing this to be able to impact your life as well. We are here today just for you. It's not for us, it's for you. For you to not remain the same, for you to have access to knowledge, to have access to information. So you no longer have an excuse. After today, you should become a better version of yourself. You should be more intentional. You should set out goals for yourself, but not just set the goals. Go out there and do the things that you need to do. And you'll be shocked that the results will really wow you. I wish you all the best. I know that lines will fall for you in pleasant places. I know that if you can think it, then you can do it and you would achieve it. So go out there, think it, write it down, and then write steps for you to achieve it. The sky is your starting point, and I look forward to seeing how you pass your generational wealth to your children. Remember, it's not just about money. It's about what you pass to them here, so that even when or if life happens, your children can follow through with what the knowledge that you have passed on to them. Thank you so much for having me.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So beautiful. God bless you. We
God bless
love you. Grace said it. We are bringing you back soon. We're
I
just
will
going
be
to
back.
cook up. We're going to cook up more sweet talk and come
There's
back.
a whole
That
lot
I
more.
will be in base so that there will be no network issues.
Yes. Yes.
God bless you. Thank you
Thank you
so much.
so
It's been
much.
such a
Thank you.
fantastic conversation. God
Thank you.
bless you. Thank you so much. Gracie, I don't know. I think it's frozen
Gracie,
again,
thank
but
you for having
we'll
me.
connect. Yeah, absolutely. All right.
All
Thank
right.
you so much. God bless
Thank
you.
you. Bye.
All right, guys. Yes. So we'll come your way again next week on another episode of Your Voice, Your Impact. This is the energetic EJ, and I hope that you've had a lot of fun like I have. See, you cannot take in everything in this one sitting. So I would suggest that you go back, watch the replay, watch it again, take note if you can. And then as you take the notes, come back and say, these are the steps that I'm going to take. Like she said, it's going to take a plan. And a plan is not something that happens immediately. A plan is meant to take you over a period of time. So come up with a plan. And then your business with that plan is to daily take the steps that you need to take. And truthfully, 1 year from now, you'll be happy with the progress that you've made. God bless you. Remain amazing. And remember, yes, you have a voice, and your voice is for impact. I hope you use it. Bye-bye.